Hello, can you hear me okay? Yeah? All right. Well, I am very happy to be here. It's one of my favorite places to speak, I think because people that come today are coming with really great intentions, and it's fun. It's a different talk for me. But I have to be honest, I'm really nervous. And my daughter is here today, and my legs are shaking, and which is good to know that even though you're nervous, you can work through it. But I'm nervous. I've got a lot of energy. I'm a high energy person, and you're all making me vulnerable right now. So, but by saying that, it's true, 100% true. But I tell you this because by me telling you that I feel vulnerable right now, by me admitting that I may not be perfect. In fact, this is it. I'm going to talk to you off of this short list. I don't have it memorized. I don't have this monologue prepared. I have to believe and trust in myself that I am going to meet your expectations today. And allowing myself to be vulnerable in front of you is allowing myself to say, it's okay to not be perfect. You are going to take me for who I am today, and that is going to be enough. So in this idea that we live this life where we have these high expectations of perfection of people, just keeping in mind like celebrities, right? Or even when you're dating and you're, oh my gosh, I love this person, they're so wonderful, and the rose-colored glasses come off and you're like, oh, you're not so perfect anymore. So we enjoy the opportunity when we see things that represent authenticity of people, right? So like bloopers. My kids and I, we love bloopers. It's the funniest thing when you get a DVD and you get to watch these actors and they make mistakes and they're cracking up, they're laughing at themselves. We will rewind them over and over again to enjoy seeing somebody that we put on a pedestal actually make mistakes and enjoy them making mistakes. So also in this idea of enjoying people in an unintentional, authentic moment is the Ellen DeGeneres show. I don't know how many people watch her show, but she is hilarious. And these actors that come on, or public figures in some way, they come on and they know they're going to be presenting the information they have, talking about themselves, and then she scares the heck out of them. You know, they have that thing, a person that jumps out of a box and scares them. Who could not be their most authentic self when someone has just scared the pee-diddles out of you? Then they make you play games. She does games where they put pie in your face and other things so that we get the opportunity to see these people as they really are. So what if we just accepted that everybody isn't perfect and we just liked people for who they are? Why do we need shows that show us that our public figures and famous people aren't perfect? We should just know they're not perfect. There's tabloid magazines where you get to see actresses with gunk all over their face when they're eating a hamburger. Well, no kidding, because they're human. So this whole idea of, let's say, the Ellen show, when she brings out the best in people, when she shows really sad, potentially heart-wrenching stories, but she does it with love and laughter and allows us the opportunity to have fun while learning something or enjoying people being people. That's what we've done at the animal shelter. A few years back, we completely changed the way that we operated. It used to be that if you came in and you wanted an animal, we would figure out, why are you here? You know, these animals are really important to us, and we're going to hold on to them really tight because you have to prove you're not bad. Prove to me that you're not bad. Oh, you say you own a home? We'll see. I'm going to call the assessor's office and make sure you're not lying to me. Oh, you have a fenced yard? What's your address? I'm doing a drive-by. So now we don't do that. We trust that when you come into the shelter, your intentions are positive and good, and that your heart has the right intention for that animal. And when we did that, by trusting and believing in people, we have quadrupled the number of animals we help in a year. By seeking the idea that somebody needs to be perfect, this happens a lot in animal welfare, that we put animals on a pedestal and we put people down here, and it is really hard to live up to that expectation. And when we do that, we set people up for failure. Now, let's say there's an adoption contract and it says if you run into troubles, you can't feed your pet, sign here and you'll agree that you'll give us the animal back. Okay, so let's say I lose my job and I'm really struggling right now, and the only thing that's keeping me going is my dog Max, and I love my dog so much and I can't afford to feed him. I can't go back to the shelter and ask for help because they're going to take my dog from me because I'm in a weak moment. I'm not perfect in this moment, but I need the help. By us providing and saying, you must be perfect all the time or we're not going to help you, we cut off the people that really need the help. We don't honor that people are not perfect and that they are going to need help. So at our shelter, we say, listen, if you run into hard times, if you can't keep your pet, don't worry, just give us a call and we'll help you. Do you need food? Our goal is to keep families together and to honor, again, that people are really true at heart and have the right intentions. So we have this program called Home to Home. Home to Home is a website where people can post the animals that they need to rehome. So instead of them having to surrender to a shelter, they post an animal profile, so a picture and a brief description of their pet, and then we promote it on our Facebook page. And by doing that, the animal should never have to come into the shelter. We are able to provide those people with an audience of potential adopters. So I'm going to give you a situation. A woman comes into the shelter and she said, I know this is a long shot, but do you have any Boston Bull Terriers? And the front desk says, no, we don't. But it's interesting enough, we just had a Boston Bull Terrier posted to Home this morning. The woman's like, oh my gosh, really? What is Home to Home? Tell me about it. Well, it's a platform where people who need to surrender their pets are able to put their profile up so that the pet can find a new home without ever having to come into the shelter. I'm not going to do that. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. You have a website that supports and honors and promotes people surrendering their pets? Well, why would I do that? I'm not going to help that person. I don't care how much I want the pet. That's ridiculous. Okay. I understand how you feel. I do. But may I tell you a little bit about this person's situation? This is an elderly woman who's had the dog for 10 years. She dearly loves the dog. She has no family. This dog has been by her side and acting as her family for the last 10 years. And unfortunately, she's reached a point in her life where she needs to go into assisted living. And the place that she can afford won't allow her to bring her dog. So the best thing that we can do for her is to help her place her dog into a home because it reduces her stress. It makes her feel good that her animal is being taken care of. So, that's the situation. And the woman's like, oh, can I have that phone number of the person? How do I help them? That's really important work. The point is it's easy to demonize what's not in front of you. If it's far away, and this happens in politics and in our current culture, it's easy to shame and be mean to people who are not up close to you. But when you learn their story, when you hear their struggles, when you hear the good intention in their heart and what that animal or person or anything is meant to them, you have an open understanding. So rather than demonizing from afar, let people get closer. Understand the situations that they're in so that you can truly make a difference in their lives. That is the greatest gift I think the Home to Home program has provided to our community, is that we have given people who would normally be demonized a voice so that people can hear that people don't surrender willy-nilly. It's this whole idea that an animal is a part of your life, right? When you adopt an animal or bring an animal into your life, this is a part of your life like a child. It's true. It is how most of us feel, that it is part of our life and it's a child to us. But have we set it up as a society to actually honor that? We haven't, because there is no free medical care for animals. So people who do not have the funds, they love, we'll just say a dog again. And the dog goes out and hurts its leg and has a torn cruciate. So the person goes, oh, geez, okay, all right, I'm gonna go to the vet. Goes to the vet, probably pays $150 just for the vet visit, which is fine because vets have to make money too. There's no insurance company paying the vets or federal or state funding for the vets. So they go in and he says, you know what, your dog needs a surgery, it's gonna cost $3,000. Oh, God, I don't have $3,000. What do I do? Well, you know what? We have a program that you go on a payment plan and all of that. All right, well, here's my information. And they come back. Well, your credit, it's not good enough. So we cannot actually do the surgery for you on credit. You're going to have to pay us up front before we do the surgery. All right, well, I'll go to the local shelter and see if they can help me. And the local shelter says, what? You're going to let money stand in the way? Well, clearly you don't love this animal. You're a horrible human being for ever wanting to surrender to the shelter. I can't even believe you're doing this. But I'll tell you what, if you surrender to us, we'll take care of that surgery for you. We'll make that happen, but we are not giving you your dog back. We're going to adopt it out to a different family, a family who has the resources to actually love and care for their pet. All right, I mean, can you see that this is a situation that happens? This is a for real situation that people face. Okay, so then they decide, all right, I can't do it, I can't do that because I won't have my pet again, so I don't know what to do. What I can't afford is pain management, so I'm going to go to the vet and I'm going to get pain management for my dog, and I'm going to wrap his leg because I know that eventually it will heal and he won't be in pain anymore, or he just won't use it and it'll be fine, and pain management will help him, but at least I have my best friend with me. And then the neighbor sees that your dog is out in the yard with that, and they call animal control, and now you're reported for animal abuse. So there's no win. We have an environment that unless someone is here to step up and actually help people with knowing that they love their pet, we create a vicious cycle, because when the animal control comes and they take that dog away, they take it to a shelter that has a population issue, right? Because they're really helping so many pets a year that they do have to euthanize for space. They don't have a choice. So when you bring a dog in that requires a $3,000 surgery, that dog's going to be euthanized. Do you see what I mean? It's this cycle that if we just stopped it, we said, you know what? I believe in you. I know what's best is to help you fix your dog's leg, and we happen to have the resources, so I'm going to not only help you with that, but I'm also, once that's done, I'm going to give you your dog back, because that's where the dog belongs, is in your loving home. When we can accept and honor that we are not perfect people, and that we are in a community of people who are also imperfect, when we can understand that people have different views than us, they may not be the same, we might even be irritated and aggravated by the way that they think. But if we're able to just bring them close, talk to them, understand where they're coming from, it creates a happier and healthier environment. We are currently in a world that is bombarded with perfection. And I said this to somebody, and they laughed at me. I said, you know, we're all on this road to be perfect. And she was like, I'm not on that road. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'll give you an example. Because even if you don't feel like you're on the road to be perfect, hopefully this example will say, oh, maybe I am. So did you know that you're working your full-time job and you have children? And so, okay, make sure that you spend good quality time with your kids, one-on-one. Yeah. And then also don't feed them preservatives and pre-manufactured foods. You need to make sure that you're buying the flour, the sugar, the eggs. Eggs from the farm would be best. And you're going to make those snacks for them, and you're going to put them in their lunch. And then you're going to make sure that you're getting physical activity. So make sure you exercise every single day, at least 30 minutes a day, and stretch. Man, you want to live a long life, you should stretch. Oh, and you should also have a glass of wine every single night, because a glass of wine helps with your cholesterol and will help you live a longer life. Oh, wait, I just read something. You shouldn't drink that glass of wine. It'll kill you. Don't drink the wine. And by the way, you need to support people and animals equally, so don't eat meat at all. You need to be vegan, and you need to be vegan tomorrow. Wait, you failed at being vegan? Well, horrible. You are a horrible person. How could you fail with being vegan? Oh, and did you know that you're supposed to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day? So in the process of making all home cooked meals and spending quality time with your family and exercising, 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and don't use a sleep supplement. Those are bad for you. And if you use a sleep supplement, you know that you won't get your REM sleep. And if you don't get your REM sleep, you actually become cuckoo. And you might get into an accident and kill somebody. So you really have to make sure you're not doing that too. We are bombarded with too much information on how we should be living our lives, rather than just accepting that the life we're leading and who we are right now is good enough. It's good enough. Be happy in the place that you're at. Understand that you're going to have failures, and that's okay. If you have somebody in your life and you're loving them, that's good enough. If you have animals, good. Because the thing is that in a world where we expect so much perfectionism, we create a world of isolation, because I am not perfect enough for you guys. So I'm not going to come in front of you because I don't believe I'm good enough. So I stay at home because I don't want anyone to come to my house because it's a complete pigsty, which is true. And you start to create these things where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't live up to this. And the greatest gift that you can have is to be vulnerable and tell people, you know what, I've made a mistake. I'm not good. My dog's toenails are too long. I admit that, and I have a hard time keeping up with it. And my one dog's crazy, and it eats everything in my house because I don't get it out enough. Like, I can own these things. I can honor them. I can say that I'm not perfect. The trick is, when you're isolated, it stinks, because the true gift of long life is community and connection. So the more that we shame people into thinking they're not good enough for us, the more isolated they become. Well, if they get a pet, an animal provides the same connection that a human can. If you feel love and connection with an animal, you will live a long life. So it's really important that we're open to everybody having access to have a loving animal. Because the people who are low income and can't afford it, man, do they have a stressed out life. Man, do they live up to all of those issues that we portray. I mean, can they afford organic, eating all organic and non-preservative foods? No. So then we say also, because you can't afford that stuff, you can't have a pet. We don't want the society that we're in where we support that kind of attitude and behavior. We need to be able to honor that people are who they are and allow them the love of an animal and the support of their community. So if there's anything today that I would appreciate you leaving with, is understanding that when we have criticism of another person, it's a reflection of ourselves. So if we're critical of somebody doing something, then we're probably very critical of ourselves, even if we don't realize it. And that if we can go through life having empathy, not just for others, but ourselves, we will grow. We will create the community that we really seek and want. And by God, remember one thing, that life is all bloopers. Everything we do is a blooper. And laugh at yourself and laugh at others. Thank you.